our next guest knows like a little bit about work ethic. Our next guest is a shark. She went from getting straight D's in high school and college to becoming one of the most successful entrepreneurs in the country. Her real estate company is known worldwide, and her investments and appearances on the hit series Shark Tank have made her a household name.
Yeah, she is now putting her efforts into helping loved ones whose family members have been diagnosed with Alzheimer's dementia. She wants to spread information she wishes she knew when she was taking care of her mother who suffered from the disease. So please welcome the one, the only Barbara Corcoran. Yes!
What a nice roll call.
Oh my gosh.
Very nice
Great to see you.
Pleasure too.
Good to see you.
Fabulous. Good to see you. What a handshake you have. What an upper arm. Wow.
You just made my week, thanks. How you feeling?
Very well.
Yeah.
Got up a little early. Happy to be here.
Glad you made it here with all the UN traffic.
A lot of traffic out there.
A lot of traffic, and you know, there's some stuff happening in the news.
Yes, quite a bit.
Just a little bit.
Quite a bit. We want to get into Alzheimer's dementia, but while we have you, 16 seasons of Shark Tank.
I can't believe it.
Neither can we. You got fired? Is that correct?
Well,
you
I got hired and fired, and all in one breath.
What? How? Explain.
I was given asked to do the show. I was given a contract, didn't read it as usual, just signed it and sent it back. I knew it was an opportunity. And then a couple of days before I was headed out by plane, I found out that they hired another woman for the job. And at first, of course, I did what everybody does. I felt sorry for myself. It just wasn't fair. I signed the contract, blah, blah, blah. But then I sat down, I wrote an email to the head of the company. I said, you've made a mistake. I consider your rejection a lucky charm. Everything good in my life happened after I was rejected. And I cited the few things that were powerful in my life that I came back from. And I said, invite us both out to compete for the seat. And to my surprise, the next day, he said, I will. And I won it, thank God.
Wow, look at you.
See, isn't it good that I didn't have an unhappy ending?
I know, but over the last 16 seasons, there's actually a pitch that you wished you would have back that you didn't.
You had to raise that one, didn't you?
Because I keep hearing about
I had a lot of good pitches, come on.
Yes,
what
so
was
many.
That was that stupid sponge with the smiley face that Lori
Oh, damn, and I have like 6 of them in my house. I'm going to throw them away.
Throw them away immediately. And all of my siblings called me up within a week and said, we bought the sponge.
No.
I never got rid of that resentment and that regret. I thought it was a stupid idea. Don't you think it was?
Completely. But so many more fantastic ideas.
Oh, yeah. Great businesses. Yeah. Great entrepreneurs, more importantly. Great people.
Well, speaking of that, and I love that you spoke from the heart. You were like, I could have felt sorry for myself, but I didn't. And I'm sure that goes through your mind when you're looking at these young entrepreneurs who want to be you.
Yes.
Or they want your money, or both.
Yes, and actually that's exactly what I'm thinking at the same moment. I'm looking for someone to walk through those Shark Tank doors that is just like me, and somebody's going to give them a lucky break. Somebody who has a big dream and they know how to get there, but they don't have the cash, and you really need cash to start a business. So I'm looking for me with that passion. When I see the man, I nail them up, get them. Yeah.
What would you say then to an entrepreneur that maybe feels downtrodden, like, I don't know if I can really do this? How do you lift them up?
You have to get it started. Fear is a terrible thing. It tends to, it just tends to paralyze you. I think the biggest mistake entrepreneurs make, bar none, always on Shark Tank and outside of Shark Tank, is they don't get their business started. They write a business plan instead. It's useless. The minute you get out in the street, the business plan never works.
Interesting. So if you have that fire in your belly,
get going.
Get going.
Don't get ready, get going. They think it's getting going, but it's just getting ready. The wrong kind of getting ready.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Taking sidebar notes.
You always say that to all the girls interesting all the time?
No, not at all. If I'm not impressed, I say nothing. That's what my producer says. If I don't say anything to you, it means you did a good job.
Well, keep talking.
Why are you so quiet?
No, never. I did not realize you're one of 10 children.
Yes, of course. I'm lucky.
And your mother, Florence, passed away.
Oh, so sadly, yes.
Yes.
She really passed away mentally long before she physically passed away. Yeah, very, very sad.
Can we get into that? Because I think
I don't mind at all.
Yeah.
I mean, it brings her back to life of sorts for me, as tender as that might be. But my mother was, I guess the best word to describe her was a love bug with all those kids. She was just a sweetheart. She just loved her kids. She lived for her children, as many moms, good moms do. But when she first had Alzheimer's, it was the usual forget her key, can't remember her best friends' names, things of that, and it regressed. But in short order, even though I had my 9 brothers and sisters joining hands to take care of her, we each had different tasks, different visit hours, different everything. It progressed very quickly over those 9 years to something very different. That's a related disease, but not really the same disease. And it's called, I have to read it because it's so hard. Agitation. I wish I had known it early. Agitation and Alzheimer's dementia. And what the difference is she got angry. You can have physically aggressiveness. You have constant confusion, which looks normal to anyone taken care of, but it's different. It's like she could never get home. She could never get comfortable in the home. She was angry with us for putting her there, and it just degenerated, but we never asked for help. We should have just called her doctor. As simple as that,
Yeah, is that one of the things, just one of the things that you know now that you wish you knew then?
I'm happy I know that now because I could share the good word with everyone. But what I had learned in caring for her is to get in her world, and that's the most important thing. If she said she had a snake under the bed, I used to tell her she didn't have a snake. My brother was smart enough to come in and kill the snake. If she said, "Where's Daddy?" I used to say, "Oh, Mommy, I'm sorry, Daddy died 2 years ago." She'd mourn his death again. I learned to say, "Daddy's downstairs warming up the car," and she'd go, "Oh, good," because she always had my dad warm up the car for the kids, you know. So I started to realize the very great importance of stepping over ourselves and not arguing or saying, "I told you before." Just relax and get in her world, and that made a heck of a lot of difference.
Wow, get in her world. That's a
and going for help. We didn't know how to ask for help. We didn't know where to go for help. Today there's a tremendous website. It's called Recognize Alzheimer's Agitation. If it's not the standard Alzheimer's forgetfulness, that you get a lot of information from. So you need to reach out for help.
You need to reach out for help. So she passed away in 2012, but she was diagnosed early 2000s.
9 years earlier.
9 years earlier.
And she really just had Alzheimer's for a number of years until a lot of other symptoms started kicking in with that related disease.
And what was available to you in terms of resources or understanding?
I don't really know. I mean, my brother took a course on dealing with Alzheimer's, but that was simple Alzheimer's. But there really wasn't much availability or support. Thank God we had one another. You know, we were the lucky kids, really.
Right. Yeah, but not everyone has that support base.
But there's great support. There's tremendous communities that give each other self-support. To go it alone, you're out of your mind. It's just too sad. For me, who's had challenges my whole life, every turn, for me, it was the hardest thing I ever dealt with. It never got easier. It was painful. It's still painful. When I think of my mother, I don't see her smiley eyes anymore. I just see that blank look. I just can't shake it, you know? You can't do enough for someone you love like that. And I think you're obligated to get as much information as you can.
And what do you say to folks right now who are at home watching, who are in the position that you were in? Who we hope that in 2024 there are more resources. I know you mentioned some websites, but what do you say to them aside from the website? Because I think your lived experience is so rich.
Give yourself a break. I expected so much of me. I expected to handle the situation like I handle most of the challenges in my life. But you're dealing with your heart, and it's tender and it's hurt. I say give yourself a break, and the other thing is find somebody to hold hands with. If I didn't have somebody to hold hands with, gosh, I don't know what would happen, honestly. It's just even hard to think about it. But I don't believe you can go it alone at all.
Yeah, well, how blessed you were to have your siblings
to
get you
yes,
through it all.
Of course, and to have so many.
Yes,
10 of you.
She got tired of company, even though she didn't know who she was visiting.
Yeah, well, she was
Who are you?
She was lucky to have you too.
Yeah, of course, we're lucky. Of course, she's such a good woman. Yeah.
Thank you for
thank you for
making
giving me
time.
an opportunity to talk about my old mom.
Of course. You are living proof of her legacy, so congratulations.
I'm afraid I haven't. No, not really. You know, it took me 6 years to be tested because I was convinced I had it, and when my doctor last year said, "You don't have it," I said, "You're lying to me."
Oh my God. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you
we
so much.
appreciate the time.